I'm Michelle Lovely, and I have with me today Jamie.schade from UBS for our 2-minute talk.
Yep, so glad to be here.
So we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about, you and I were both in a meeting, and It came up that cash was an expensive gift. And so I just wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about that.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think back to what Don Shade said all those years ago about cash being the most expensive gift to give. And I think so much about charitable people are some of the best people in our society. And so I'm really passionate about the topic because I want charitable people to always be as strategic as they possibly can be. And that's where if you have a stock that's gone a little bit farther, maybe we're a little bit more cautious than we otherwise might be. At the end of the day, if you can gift the shares instead of writing a check, it's just so much more strategic because, in a sense, everybody's situation is different, but in a large sense, you're getting rid of a capital gain that you otherwise couldn't get rid of. And so I'm very, very passionate about this. I really believe that giving low basis stock, if you have that position, is incredibly strategic.
So do you ever have donors or your clients that tell you, oh, I don't want to get rid of that stock because I'm really tied to it, or
Yeah, that's such a great question, and that's not something that I think a lot of. I think our team stays very focused on the market and what's strategic in a sense, but that absolutely happens. People attach sentimental value to a company, and I understand. And so in some of those cases where people say, I really just don't want to give this company away, or they still believe in the company, they can buy shares after they make this gift.
Because it's not a wash sale.
Exactly right. So you can donate over here, and then you can go and buy shares and replace those shares in a sense and significantly raise your basis in the position. So you're still avoiding a capital gain.
So they're basically writing the check to you.
Exactly. Right. That's right.
So what do you do when a client says, I don't itemize anymore, so I don't use my DAF, or I'm not going to use a donor advised fund?
That's a great question. I mean, at the end of the day, I always encourage people to talk to their CPAs, their tax advisors. That's certainly something you want to think about in a sense that in some cases, what I think about personally and professionally is that maybe you gift away incrementally a little bit more that makes itemization strategic. And in a sense, you upsize the gift so that it does make strategic sense from you from a tax standpoint. Usually, if you look at a company and you say that company's gone so much farther than I ever dreamed, I mean, think about like the Mag 7. The company's gone so much higher than I ever dreamed possible. Upsizing it so that you can itemize is usually in your best interest.
And then if you want to buy it back, you've increased your cost basis.
That's exactly right. That's the key. That's really the key is when I look at giving away stock, I look at giving away the lowest basis position that I have, maybe the least bullish view on. And if you do those things correctly, you're really, really being just terrifically strategic.
And what about donors who are 70 and a half? Do you say anything different than using their appreciated stock?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think obviously, we see clients giving RMDs to charity, and so there's a lot of different things that charitable people can give to do. But at the end of the day, I really think it comes back to what's the position that they own, what's our view on that position, and do we believe that this is in their absolute best interest, from that standpoint. I don't change the message a lot. It really comes back to the charitable intent of the individual and then just advising on what's most strategic for them at that point.
Got it. So obviously cash is a great thing to give if you don't have a stock portfolio or a traditional IRA, but I think what I heard you say is cash is not king if there is a stock portfolio.
That's exactly right. I mean, it's such a good observation on your part. Any gift is a wonderful thing. I just, over my career, have seen people give away cash and they had low basis stocks. And it's like a cringe moment in a sense. At the end of the day, I think about low basis stock being so strategic for the long term. And I'm like I said, every gift is good, But at the end of the day, if you have a low basis stock in your portfolio, especially one that maybe we're a little bit more cautious on, that's where this comes into play in a meaningful way.
Yeah, completely agree.